So today we're going to be checking out a video from Jubilee on cancel culture. So let's see what they have to say.
R. Kelly, bye. I'm done with you. Get out of here.
But that's in your opinion. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm
Yeah.
for R. Kelly.
I just think if you support him, you're a dick, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And then it's their right to be a dick.
So leave it down in the comments below which side, the left or the right, do you think are pro cancel culture.
Hello, my name is Adib Kadir. I have a computer science degree and I'm a product manager in the tech industry.
Hi, I'm Will Court. I'm a music student at USC.
Hi, I'm Joy Villa. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I am anti-cancel culture.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Riebling. I'm a consumer insights specialist, and I'm pro-ish cancel culture. More on this side, but I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Hi, I'm Seth Fowler, a law school graduate and teacher. I am pro cancel culture.
Hi, my name is Alana. I am a student, a history student, and I'm pro cancel culture.
So one thing that I've noticed about this group is they're mostly young.
My pro-cancel culture to the left and my anti-cancel culture to the right. I would buy an artist's work even if they committed a violent crime.
Me personally, I don't think I would buy an artist's work if they committed a violent crime because I just don't want to support anyone like that. But that's just my opinion.
Oh, that's so hard.
Humans are a series of impulses on a spectrum of time. Like, we are constantly changing, we're constantly evolving. Have any of you ever, honestly never not told a lie in your life?
Of course, we've all lied.
So are you a liar today?
No, not today.
So that moment that you told a lie, you can't be blanketed as a liar the rest of your life. I think the issue with cancel culture is it's kind of like this, like you have a cut on your arm, let's just chop the whole arm off.
When you bring up the amount of people
Okay, so this guy brings up a pretty good point with the arm. If you've got a cut on the arm, instead of just fixing the cut, let's just cut the whole arm off and that'll just fix everything. It's just stupid.
that work on some of these projects, like think of like a Harvey Weinstein movie, right? He did terrible things. I wouldn't want to support Harvey Weinstein. But most of his victims are people that were in his movies. By not supporting a Harvey Weinstein movie, you're also not supporting his victims. So it's kind of like you're in a weird spot, right?
But you can't bring down the kingpin without bringing down the organization that he built.
Okay, so both of them had valid points. I can see both sides of that. And I can see myself agreeing somewhat to both sides of that. So let's continue watching and see what they would say, discuss.
So he's said something very interesting to me about like the whole cutting off the arm and to fix a cut. And I feel like the exact opposite, because when you talk about how like, oh, if you're canceling people, blah, 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 and they have good inventions, it's like, there's so many smart people that aren't toxic. And it's like, when you cancel someone that is toxic, it's sending the message to other toxic people, you cannot get away with this.
Here's how I think of it. Like, I have the right to stop this, and if other people want to do that also, and we bond together, like the power's in our hands, and I feel like, for me, I'm doing my part by choosing not to like mess with that person anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you a question though. Do you feel like you should be the one making the decision, or do you feel like YouTube or Spotify should make the decision for you and take down people who they feel like offended a certain segment of the population?
So this guy just brought up a good point. People should be allowed to make their own decisions about who they want to support and who they don't want to support. I don't think it's up to corporations or companies or even the government for that matter to automatically decide, okay, we don't like this person, so we're just going to cancel them. Nobody else is going to be able to like them either. I don't go along with that.
I think it's two separate things. Like, I think I should have the power to make that decision. Of course, that's a very personal thing for me. But
So their music should be continue to be sold and available.
I personally don't think so.
Just don't listen to it. Don't buy it. You yourself,
Yeah.
absolutely, every individual has the right to say, hey, I don't like this. And you can even tweet about it and say no. But then to start a boycott, that's why I don't do boycotts.
People have different morals.
Like, I personally have the right, I withhold the right, I think all of us do, to not go and support these people we don't believe in. I would never tell you, wait, I'm gonna go see XYZ movie and you have to too. If you say no, you have that right. What cancel culture does is saying, I'm not gonna see this person because I don't like this person and nobody else should either. And that's why I hate it.
That's what I was just talking about. I don't like this person, or I don't like this, so nobody else is going to like it either. You just can't apply things blanketly like that. You know, people should have the right to decide for themselves who they want to support and who they don't want to support.
Cancel culture is out of control.
Okay.
Oh, wow. When it started,
I'm actually surprised that I believe everyone just walked up that cancel culture was out of control. I'm surprised that everyone agreed about that.
I think it was a good thing. It's like the Me Too movement, a good thing. But when you get the court of public opinion involved, I tell you, it becomes so horrible. I am an artist. I've legitimately hit #1 on Billboard. People think, oh, I don't run my social media. I absolutely do. I read comments, I respond, even negative ones. When people say, I hope you die, somebody should kill your family, you should get raped so that you have a baby illegitimately, and you can, I mean, it is online bullying.
I agree with her. It is online bullying, and you know, nobody should be saying stuff like that to another person online. I don't care what they did to you or anything. You shouldn't bully anyone online saying stuff like that.
Cancel culture, rationally, is overall a net positive, I think. But there are sects of cancel culture, like the toxic people that issue the death threats. And of course, those need to be excised. Cancel culture originated out of compassion, the voice for the voiceless, being able to vote with your wallet, make a stand, your little retweet, your little like, turning things viral that wouldn't get seen.
This is something that like strikes fear in my heart right now. What's happening now is, you know, people are essentially choosing for you whether you should be, it's like let's say you wanted to boycott Coca-Cola or Nike or something. Imagine if stores started taking Nike shoes out of the store before you could even make the decision as a people to buy it or not buy it. And we need to have the right and the option
But
at
do
our
companies
level.
not have that right too?
Yeah, I don't think that they're trying to make you not buy the product. I think that they're saying, as a company, we do not agree with this, so we're not going to sell your product here. When record
So, for the most part, I think the consumers should have the choice to buy a product or not. I don't think the companies should make that decision for their customers. The only exception to that is to, you know, if something major happens, something major goes down with a big brand. But other than that, I think consumers should be able to make the choice whether the products that they want to buy.
labels stop playing their music or whatever, I feel like it's justified. Specifically for victims, because when it gets out that that person did something like that, their music skyrockets. And for the victim, seeing that
see
they're
that.
getting
Yeah.
so much
Messed
support
up,
for that,
right?
and then once
Especially
the
when they're
cases
dead.
are over, then sure, you could play their music more if they are innocent. But it's also like the justice system isn't always right.
Honestly, I've said this before, like, I think the pendulum has swung the other direction, and like, yes, maybe it's getting a little string, but I also think sometimes that's necessary for change. For so long, we let everyone get away with everything, and there was only one voice as part of the conversation,
Good
and it
old
was
boys
like,
club.
right, and it was mostly like white men back in the day, versus now we have a platform where everyone can share their opinion. You're like, hey, that makes me uncomfortable, and I think some people are going to have to be made examples of in order to set precedent in what's acceptable for us, our generation, and the society today.
The public should hold celebrities accountable when the justice system fails.
I don't know about this one. I don't know how I feel about this one. The justice system isn't always going to be right. And one way that the people, if we're talking about someone like an artist, is if the justice system lets that person go or lets them off, whatever the case may be, let the people decide. They still can choose to buy their product or buy their services or not.
Hey, friend. Hey. R. Kelly is the first name that comes to mind because he has sex tapes that show his face, and people are still like, he didn't do it. We love R. Kelly. He would never. And most of the time when it's a celebrity being convicted, they can always buy their way out.
That's exactly who came to mind for me too. Immediately I was just like, ugh, like, first of all, how many times, okay, join the crew.
Yeah, what's up?
How many times in like the United States justice system have we seen guilty people get off innocent and then you find off years later that that happened? If the justice system doesn't come through, we as a people shouldn't just take that and be like, okay, well, I guess he's innocent. Like, no, he did that, and let's take away his platform, and we will take that power away from him.
The justice system.
So you see this a lot of times with celebrities and people with high status that's got a lot of money. It seems as though they get let off more than just the average person. And I don't know, for say, if that's because they buy their way out of it as so much as they just have more money, they can afford better lawyers to represent them.
The system is it's just so imperfect. It's unbelievable. And I think that situations like Jussie Smollett, I think that the justice system in those situations have failed. If we don't support the justice system a little bit, then it's kind of anarchy. But at the same time, I think that it's an individual decision, as the individual has the right to kind of, not support them, or to do whatever they want to do.
Like, I don't think we should like show up at his house and like beat him up.
Yeah, no, just nothing extreme.
Like,
nothing
yeah,
extreme.
That's one thing going on today is people take things to the extreme. There's either this or that. There's no common ground anymore.
If the justice system fails, what's important and what's happening now is that we do look at replacing, whether it's the district attorney or whatever the system is that's causing it to fail. People should go and address this so the next millions of people that go through that system go through a just system.
I think we all completely agree with that. Like, the justice system needs to be fixed. But I do think the reason cancel culture started and when it originally derived was because, like, to be 100% right, like, that takes so long. Like, for our entire government and justice system to like evolve into your idealistic view of it is not happening next year. I think we're making change. I think it's happening, but I think our generation that spawned cancel culture was like, we don't have time.
Right.
We have the same
have to
problems
fix
with
this
cancel
now.
culture as we do with the justice system. There's a lot of people that got the death penalty, right? We're giving people their careers the death penalty by public, and kicking them out forever and saying we never want you back, right?
Are we? Because I've canceled the NFL
And-
since
and
Colin
what if
Kaepernick,
they're
and
wrong?
they're
You
still
know what I mean?
kicking
What if we're
strong.
But what if we're wrong?
Right.
If it was accountable culture, I'd be on that side. Cancel. When I cancel you, you don't exist. Deleted. Bye. Get out of here. No more money. We're done with them. Cancel.
We're just as imperfect as the justice system.
But R. Kelly, bye, I'm done with you, get out of here. Like,
But that's in your opinion. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm
Yeah.
for R. Kelly, but I still don't want all his music erased. Like, all of a sudden, it's like he's guilty before a court of law. Even people I don't support, I still want them to go to the justice system because fairness matters. We've already been through this throughout history.
I just
Yeah, it's guilty until proven innocent. Not, I just got that backwards. It's innocent until proven guilty. It's not guilty until proven innocent.
think if you support him, you're a dick, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And then it's their
yeah.
right to be a dick.
But it's their right to be
And
a
it's
dick,
our right
yeah.
to hate them.
And it's
for being
our
a
right
That's right.
not
That's
to
First
buy
Amendment.
from them.
Yeah.
Cancel culture, it runs, I would say, codependently with activism. And as activism has changed, we're able to operate quicker and mobilize quicker in this digital space. It's almost, in some senses, it's like digital activism. But I like compassionate cancel culture. If you look at the history of somebody and you look at how somebody responds when confronted, and you make your decision based off of whether they've seen any type of error and applied any type of value judgment, then I think it's totally your right whether or not to support them. Because we have too many options.
Compassion. I like the compassion.
And I love that you said it's your right.
I just think what's most important about anything is that if you're going to stop listening to someone, stop supporting someone, do your research and make the moral decision for yourself of whether you want to support them or not. And that's all you can do as an individual. It's an individual decision.
I think I agree with this guy. It is an individual decision for the most part. I don't think anyone or any organization or company should have the power to just cancel or delete someone just because they don't like them or they don't agree with them or they don't have the same views as them. That's just not fair in my opinion.
We all kind of have the same opinion on a level. For the most part, we think that people deserve consequences, but I feel like we think it to more of an extreme. Awesome.
Good talk, good talk.
Good talking to you, man.
Alright, so we're going to be leaving that video there today. If you want to check out Jubilee, I'll have it linked down, the video link down in the description below. And make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.